Hey there everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, and I know it's kind of late, but I wanted to pop on and talk about the biggest mistakes that women make when they are really trying to boost fertility. I actually have a 12-week program that really helps women focus on the right nutrition for their hormones, their cycle, for fertility, to really help reset and clear out any issues they're having with their cycle, just to kind of start over. I work with thousands of women literally all over the world and help them, I don't want to say balance their hormones, but just help their bodies function better. Our bodies are created so differently than, the male body. And when we're trying to match or follow something that's the same every day, every week, all month long, we're really missing out on the big key differences for women. And without, shifting things for our bodies, we're not addressing that hormonal issue. So when we look at things, my book, The Female Fat Solution, is on Amazon. I talk about nutrition for the hormones in your cycle in here, as well as on my podcast, The Female Health Solution, and everything. But the one thing that I want to talk about here, there's two main things that I really want to cover, because these are the biggest mistakes I see women make all the time when they're trying to boost fertility, when they have an issue with their cycle. And this is a gal who, maybe she was on birth control of some kind, but she's eating really clean and healthy, and I'm really trying to, I'm working out a lot. It should be fine. It should be fine. Yet, 3 years goes by, 5 years go by, and you're not getting pregnant, and you're just being told, oh, go on these, fertility things, and that's going to really help you. And a lot of times women don't really understand, hey, your body never got reset after being on hormones, and with the world that we live in today, there's so much stuff that impacts our hormones, stuff from the foods that we eat, from the chemicals that we're around, from everything else. And it's just a really big job for our system to metabolize and process through, that we really have a hard time doing that. So this is not about, I don't want to focus on like doing a flush for your hormones to reset them. But oftentimes that's a place where I start with women. It just depends. So I'll put a link below this video. So if you have questions on fertility, if you have questions on, what things you can do to help better your own fertility, you can schedule a call with me and we can chat about some great options that would get you started in the right direction. But here are the things that I see women go to right away. The first thing is that they're taking a supplement. Just like, oh, this is a fertility supplement. Oh, I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this. This is going to be so great. Oh, this thing boosts fertility. I'm taking this. I'm drinking this tea, right? I'm doing things like red raspberry leaf. I'm doing chaseberry. Oh, that's so great, right? And I'm not saying that these things are bad. These are not bad things, right? Oh, I need to boost progesterone. My progesterone's low. I know that. I have to boost it, so I'm going to take just this supplement that's going to do it. And the thing with that is that it's not really addressing the underlying issue. So I always try and tell women, you know what? Focus on the foundation of your hormones first. Start there. Meaning, it doesn't do any good to take all these supplements if your body's depleted nutritionally, if you're under too much stress, if you're not sleeping well, your hormones are going to stay messed up. So you're starting, it's like you're trying to start 50 miles down the track. When really you have to start at ground zero. That's where you're at. You're at ground zero. You got to build a new foundation, and you really need to focus on the right things for your body for where you're at. Of course, we all want to be at that place in the future, right? We always want to, be down the road, but that's not the right thing. I compare it to something like, oh, if you want to lose weight and you go to McDonald's a lot, okay, but you start taking this diet pill, but you still go to McDonald's. But it's okay because you're taking the diet pill, so you got to lose weight now. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. If you have hormonal issues, if you have issues with your cycle, and some women don't even realize that there's an issue with their cycle. For example, this is just an example I talk about a lot with women, is that they'll start their cycle and they'll have it for a day, and then it'll stop for a day, and then it'll come back again. And they think that that's normal, and it's not normal. That's a sign of adrenal fatigue. That's a sign that the stress is too high in your system. And so you need to work on that. That would be the main driver behind your infertility or behind your cycle issues, right? So it's really interesting. Your body's telling you all these things. And it's just a matter of like figuring it out and realizing, oh my gosh, that's a problem. I need to work on that. And once my body is functioning the way that it should function, every other result that I want will come along with it. I want to say it's just that, simple, but it's not easy though, right? And we're oftentimes not the best judge of what's going on with our system ourselves, just because we're not objective enough. We just can't be, right? So talking with somebody or looking at something, reading something, finding other information is going to be super helpful. So the biggest thing, just taking a supplement, and that's going to be the fix and end all be all of fertility issues. So the one thing though that I tell women to do first is you want to regulate or improve your cycle. That's your first step. I'm going to write that down. First step. Step. That's step one. You want to regulate and improve your cycle. If your cycle is irregular, it doesn't matter how many supplements you're going to take. It's not going to help you just regulate your cycle. It would be great if it worked that way. But again, it's like going through McDonald's twice a day, every day, and taking a diet pill and saying, oh, it's fine. I took my diet pill. We're good. No. Again, addressing whatever issue it is. And again, it can be really tough to figure it out on your own. So that's where, don't feel bad. You know what I mean? If you're like, oh, I don't know, or I'm frustrated, or I'm struggling with this, why is this so tough? It is tough for thousands upon thousands of women all over the world. You're not alone, and we are not educated enough as women in our own regular life to know this stuff. Really, we're not. I mean, this is my expertise, right? This is what I have studied for years and helped thousands of women with. That's why I know it. So you're not expected to know it though. So that's the other thing too. Don't feel bad that you are like, oh, I can't figure it out. Yes, that's normal. Okay, that's a normal thing. But regulating and improving your cycle first is the main thing to start with. From there, if you want to take supplements, great. From there, if you want to do other things, great. But don't go to steps 5, 6, and 7 without doing steps 1, 2, and 3, right? And then the next thing I want to talk about is switching tactics, every month. There's a lot of things out there, right? There's a lot of advice everywhere, and that can be also overwhelming when you're looking at things. My philosophy overall for women's health is, how does the body work and function, and then match everything to that. That's with nutrition, that's with exercise, that's with everything else. The programs that I have, the 12-week program that I have for fertility specifically, it really is, the healthiest things, the healthiest nutrition, the best for boosting fertility, the best, I do have some supplements in there, tailored for fertility specifically, changing throughout the month because that's what's best for the fertility cycle. Nutrition for fertility, and then exercise as well. And then other things to really, really boost, around ovulation. And, but those are things that you have to stick with for a certain period of time, right? A big hormonal phase is actually 12 weeks. That's why my programs are 12 weeks. That's what matches with the female body the most. That's what's going to get you the best, most lasting results. So that's why I built it that way. It's what's best for how the female body functions. If you do a 21-day cleanse or something like that, is that bad? No, it's not bad, but it's not really matching with the female body, right? You need to keep implementing a change for 3 months, 12 weeks, 90 days, that time frame. So that's what I believe is best for women because that's a hormone phase, and that's why I built my programs that way. So if you're trying something for a month, you're like, oh, I'm going to take the supplement for a month and see if it works. Nope. It's not going to magically work, right? You might feel like, oh, here we go. This might have been the thing for me now. Maybe not, right? No. Really, it's not. You really have to let things, integrate into your system. And it takes that amount of time, 90 days, 12 weeks, 3 months. I know it's not exciting. It's not exciting. That means that that means if it's January 1st, and you're implementing a change, you got to go all the way through January, February, and March. So you're looking at the beginning of April. So if you have a lot of issues to clear up, I tell women, you know what? Just look at the first 6 months. Don't put pressure on yourself. Don't put any big expectations out there. If something changes sooner, great. But look at least 6 months out for some major shift to happen in your hormones. There's a gal that I've been working with for cycle issues. She had horrible periods, in bed 2 to 3 days every month. Every month, 2 to 3 days in bed. That means that by the end of the year, she was missing out on about 2 weeks of her life because that's how bad it was, right? Horrible issues. And now she's been following this for over 2 years, and every cycle gets better and better and better. And recently, she said the past, I think, 3 cycles, she's like, I have 0 PMS symptoms now. I have nothing, right? But she was in a really bad place, but there was a lot of stuff going on, right? So there was a lot of, improvement that needed to be made, which is why it's been that long. But imagine how different that is now, right? And then imagine, now, fertility-wise, things are totally different, right? Yes. So switching tactics too soon, you're going to miss out on the benefit of that tactic. You can be taking a supplement. It can be good for you if it's integrated correctly and you have a good foundation for your cycle, all that good stuff. But if you're only taking it for a month, that's not enough time. It's really not. So the other thing to really focus on too is tracking your cycle. Track your cycle. So you know what to focus on. So basal body temperature, there's apps where you can track what's going on with your cycle. I have women send me, what they've tracked so that I can take a peek at it and say, you know what? Here's where the issue is. You know what? This is where I see you're missing something. Oh, this pattern is off. And sometimes I'll find stuff where women don't even realize, I didn't realize that wasn't normal. Like the example, like they have a period for a day or two, it stops and then it comes back again. That's not normal. That's not okay, like there's a lot of things that we just kind of brush off as normal because again, we're not told whether or not it's okay. And sometimes when we do talk about it, they're like, oh, well, your arm didn't fall off. You're fine. Get back in there. Whatevs. See you later. Oh, what? It is a big deal when our bodies aren't functioning the way that they should, right? So those are the things, like track what's going on. Track your basal body temperature, track your periods, track everything, track your energy, track your sleep, track what you're doing. And it does take a longer amount of time and it takes more data to really figure this out. That's why it's a little bit tougher. So I get that it can be overwhelming, but it gives you the opportunity to be in control. It gives you the knowledge to when you step in to want to do something, you've got all this information already. So it's not just like closing your eyes and shooting a dart somewhere, right? Okay, I know what I need to focus on then, right? And that's when I have conversations with women. They're like, okay, this is where I feel like I'm going off track. This is where I feel like this is going awry. Or here's these things. And I'll look at it and be like, yep, you're right. This is off, but hey, this is off too. We need to focus here and here. Here's what's going to get things turned around as quickly as possible. And here's a good time frame for you. Because sometimes it's so easy to put pressure on ourselves. It's so easy to say, dang it, I messed up on this, or this is my fault for this, that, or the other. I was on birth control for a really long time, and that was probably too long for me, blah, 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 right? All of these things we want to blame ourselves. And really, it is what it is. You're at the point you're at right now, but that's your starting point. So we go from there. And we figure out the fastest way to get to your goal. Yes. So I really love working with women through these issues because it's so rewarding to have that change and to restore the body back to its true health. Because your body has an amazing ability to heal itself as long as it has the opportunity. It has the amazing ability to make things different. And that's what I love showing women. So you get the right tactics lined up for what you need and implement them for the proper amount of time. Holy cow, can things change? Yes. All right. So that's what I got for you guys tonight. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'll put that link below this video. So if you've got questions on where to start, or if you're taking some supplements, I've chatted with women that they're taking things that are actually counteracting each other internally. And they're like, well, they're supposed to be for fertility. I was like, but they're doing different things for fertility. What's your issue? Well, I don't really know. Okay, let's start tracking. And from what you've told me, I know these things are issues too. We're going to start working with that. There we go. So I'll put a link below this video. If you guys have questions, let me know. But I know this is a really tough topic for a lot of women. So if you know somebody who's been struggling, or if you know somebody who could use this information, please share it with them. My mission is to educate women on as many things that they need to get to be their healthiest selves. So that's what I got for you tonight, and I will see you guys later. Have a great night.